So here, Frank Paris here. It's time to do this. This is my signature trick, ones to 100s. There is a video up online that explains how to make the trick and how and what it consists of as far as the builds are concerned. And it's if you go to YouTube and you type in the prompt "Magician Frank Paris ones to 100s," you will see how to make this trick and how to present this trick in a tutorial. But I felt that I had to, because I'm going to Paris in May. In about a week and a half, to do a lecture at the Museum de Magique. This is one of the tricks that I'm going to give away free. Every lecture I do is free. I do not charge for props. I do not charge for lecture notes. My fellow magicians do this because they earn a living at it. I don't need to earn a living at doing that. I build a lot of magic props for magicians, and I also custom build magic props for magicians, and I do kid shows, and I do adult shows, and I used to do cruise ships, and I used to do trade shows and all that other stuff. But now it's just, I just like when my wife travels, she wants me to enjoy myself, so we hit the local magic shop, or we hit the local magic society. We did Iceland 2 years ago, and I did a lecture for Ring 271, I think it was, in Iceland, IBM. So she gets her wish, and I get my wish at the same time. I'm doing a lecture at the Museum de Magique, and what I want to do is, because there's a whole bunch of things to cover in 2 hours, and it's going to be breathtaking to see if I could get and cover all of this stuff. A lot of this stuff I have up on YouTube as a prompt, magician coin matrix and magician 4-card repeat and that kind of thing. These are the tricks that I've invented and created over the years, 60 years in the business. So rather than keep going on about me, let me just show you, because the tutorial doesn't really go into the traps you can get into when you're building this trick. This is not, by the way, Extreme Burn by Richard Saunders. This is my own version of ones to 100s, which I came up with about 35 years ago at a Tannin Jubilee. Sitting down with a bunch of magicians, we expressed an opinion about the trick Easy Magic currency trick. And so I took the Easy Magic currency trick, and I had never seen it before. And I was playing around with it for about an hour and a half, while everybody's having coffee and stuff like that, at the Brown Derby at the Browns Hotel. And I came up with a way of handling the trick and developing a different kind of gimmick based on the trick that was being at the time that was being used to change dollar bills into $100 bills, or whatever currency you wanted to change, denomination you wanted to change. So this was the trick I came up with. A fellow magician at buddy of mine, Michael Mode, M-O-D-E, at Magic Live in 2022, saw my trick for the first time, and he said, "Did you know you could go into burn notice with this?" And I says, "Yeah, but the burn notice trick is it's an in-your-face trick. I don't like in-your-face tricks. I mean, I like it slow and mysterious and non-deliberate in-your-face tricks. I don't like them. Burn notice is great if you handle it the right way. If you don't handle it the right way, and there are a lot of magicians that don't, it's not that. It's more of an insult on the audience than it is a trick or a mystery. So my version of this Easy Magic trick is mine. I came up with this idea. This has nothing to do with burn notice. So just so you know this, because there were a couple of controversial remarks I got on Facebook about it. Okay, so let's get into the trick itself, the ones to 100s, where you see the gimmick being made and some of the pitfalls that happen when you're making the gimmick that you have to overcome. Okay, so we're going to start with, and again, if you need to learn how to do this trick, build this trick besides what I'm showing you here, go back to the original magician prompt, Magician Frank Paris ones to 100s, and you'll see me performing the trick. I did it in Spain. I did it in a couple other countries on one of our trips and one of my lecture tours, and I also did it with on the cruise ship that I was on when we were performing, when we were going on a cruise through Europe. And so we start off, by the way, the money that I'm using is prop money. This is prop money. You can see these guys right here. This looks like a real $100 bill, but it says prop money right on the top. Motion picture money, it actually says. And this is the stuff that you buy when you're a movie producer, a director, and you want to get props. This, you go to propmoney.com, okay? Propmoney.com, and that's where you get these kinds of bills. And they're very good, and they're very lifelike. I'm just hoping I'm not going to have a problem with customs with this, because it's a magic trick, and I made a few up, so, and it's got my magic business card on there. So we, I'm giving these out for free at the museum during my lecture. This is not going to be, I'm not charging anybody for any of this stuff. So bearing all of that in mind, so if you want to buy a strap, when you buy a pack of, let me just get out of camera for a second. When you buy a pack of prop money from propmoney.com, it's called a strap. Okay, and there's 100 bills in that. So there's $101 bills here. There's another trick I make up called a sliding bill, which I may, if I have time, I'll make that up too. Okay, but it's a strap. Now, when you buy the $100 bills, you ask for a strap, and you get $10,000 worth of $100 bills, which I kind of got out there somewhere. Anyway, bearing that in mind, let's talk about our friend, rubber cement. You see the rubber cement? We use rubber cement to create the gimmick. All right, so rubber cement, and we fold the dollar bill so that, let's see if we can get this just right. All the corners match. At least all the corners have to match. You grab it right in the center, and then grab it in the center here and press down. So you've already got a lock on the bill. And then, of course, you come over and you do this and this. So now you've got your corners accurately shaped. And if you see that they're not, just move around the bill a little bit and then do it again until it's locked in a position where both bills are lined up on the sides and in the front. Okay, so that's the first thing. So we'll put that down. Now we're going to do the same thing for the $100 bill. Okay, and fortunately for me, prop money is they've been such a blessing for me when I bring this trick out to different places. We're in Hawaii 3 years ago, and I gave these away at a SAM meeting in Hawaii. So I wasn't doing a lecture. I just gave them away. Just went to the SAM meeting, and so we have the $100 bill. We did the same thing, so it's even on both sides. Okay, now very important. When you take these two, and again, you don't know the trick, you have to go to the prompt Magician Frank Paris 1s to 100s to see it being performed. I did one in Spain. I did one in I don't know. I forget countries at this point. So I did it. You'll see the Spanish one that I did for a couple of vendors in Spain, and they were just totally amazed. So now they're both folded. Okay, nice and even. Edges are even. And what you want to do is you want to make sure when you glue these together, okay? And like I said, if you want to see how this trick is performed, I'm not going to do it here, but if you want to see how it's performed, go to Magician Frank Paris 1s to 100s, and I show you. I also show you how to make the gimmick up, but I don't go into this detail. So I'm going to add this video to that video, and then I'm going to put it back up online. I'll do some editing and get that back up, so you'll have a full video of this particular trick in the prompt eventually, okay? But this is why it's separate right now. So, and if you're seeing this, it's because I uploaded it separately on YouTube, but I'm going to add it to the first video, all right? And we'll call the second video something else, I don't know. Magician Frank Paris 1s to 100s, close up or something, you know? All right, so now, you've got those things, and you need a table. If you see this table here, it's got an edge, a sharp edge. So what you want to do is you need to take the dollar, or we'll do the dollar, or the $100 bill, it doesn't matter, and you just lay it against the edge so that it's flush against the edge, because what you're going to do is you're going to glue the whole thing on one side with rubber cement. Okay? We got our rubber cement here. And what I do, and this is what you have to do, is you got to take all that excess glue off the rubber cement, off the unit. Okay? Take it all off. All right? If you need to do a backup gluing, I'll show you that too. And then you're going to just glue one side of the bill, one half of one side of the bill. And you're going to make sure that when you glue it, you get the corners real good. Don't worry about any overflow that may happen on the bills, okay? Don't worry about that at all because you're going to rub that off. This is rubber cement. This is the magician's friend. So we've got that all glued together, okay? All right, so that's it. We'll put that back in there. Now, very important, the trick won't work as well if you don't do this. You see George Washington is upside down. See that? Okay, so you want Ben Franklin face up. So when you put these two together, Ben Franklin's going to be face up. You see Ben Franklin? And George Washington's going to be face down. And I'm going to just glue these together like so. And you want to line them up. You still have a little play. You can still line them up so that they're nice and even. Okay, let's see if I've got that. All right, I don't have it, so I'm going to have to pull it off. Okay, and just get it lined up a little bit better. Again, you line it up so you can see that. All right, so now that's now lined up. Okay, and then you can just make sure that it's stable and glued on the T, because it's a T. All right, it's a T. All right, and then you're going to fold the both of them over and just press real hard. You're going to get the excess glue off when you're doing that. That might have fallen on the other side of the thing. Now what I usually do is I put it down over here on the table and I just clean it with my finger. Okay, then I turn it over, clean it again with my finger. All right, and then I also rub my finger on top and clean it again. All right, so you've done all of that. Now, when you open it up, again, you have the whoops. How did that happen? That didn't get glued. Why didn't that get glued? Let's see. Ah, okay. It didn't get glued. Let's do it again. Hold on a second. We're going to add some more glue. Okay, I guess I didn't put enough. All right, I just didn't want to. Let's just do that again with the dollar bill because that's where we started with it. And we'll just add some glue again. And I'm putting a little bit more than I normally do. Again, rubber cement comes off, so we're not worried about that. But we want to make sure that we get it on so that, again, Ben Franklin is right side up, okay, and George Washington is upside down. Let's just double check. Let's see, this is Ben. He's right side up, and George is going to be upside down. Okay, and there we go. No, that's not it. We've got to do it this way. So we got Ben and George. This is, oh boy. How is this happening that I'm not seeing? Here we go. I got it. Okay. Now again, we're going to move it around because we have the ability to do that. We're just going to get it lined up just as perfectly as we can so that both edges of the folded part of the bill are together to the point where they're almost perfectly aligned. Okay, and this takes a little bit of doing. Once you've got it, and of course you've got excess glue on here, which I didn't put on, and that is why it wasn't perfect. Let me just move it over just a little bit more. Okay, because I want to make sure that you can see that it is pretty much lined up. Let's see here, just a little bit. Yeah. It's almost like a project. Okay, so there we go. It's lined up. Now I'm going to just press again over here and here. I'm going to just rub on top, get the excess glue off. Okay. So you can see that the excess glue is off. Again, we'll do a little rubbing on the table this way and this way. And again, we'll just do a little bit on the top. Now, we've got our gimmick done. This is the gimmick. The gimmick is done. And if there's any glue on the inside of the one pocket, you can take it off by rubbing against it. And the same thing with the $100 bill. But I was very careful and I got it just right. So here's what you have. Okay, can you see that? And it's pretty much aligned together. All right, we want to keep it, we want to get it aligned. Okay, so now we have a ones pocket here and we have a $100 bill pocket here. So, and again, remember, Ben Franklin is put on upside down, or George Washington is put upside down, and the other bill, whichever it is, Ben Franklin or George Washington, is the opposite. And the reason for that is when you do the trick and you turn it over and you change them to $100 bills from $1 bills, it's more uniform and aesthetically pleasing to see that the bills, the president's heads are lined up together. Okay, so we got that done. Okay, and let's just get some $1 bills, because this is 5 $1 bills to 5 $100 bills. We'll take 1, 2, 3. Let's 1, 2, 3, and 4 right here. So we have 4 $1 bills. Okay, so we have 4 like this, and we're going to take them, make sure they're all facing the same way. We're going to fold these up like we did the gimmick. All right, so we got that nice and even on the edges here, and then we're going to press in the middle, and then we're going to just press this way and press this way, and we're going to take this whole thing and we're going to stick it in the ones pocket. Let's just make sure we got George Washington facing the same way, and we do. You can see George Washington is going to go in the same way. So now these all go into the ones pocket, and then we're going to fold that over, we're going to turn it over, okay, and we'll lay it down, and we're going to get 4 $100 bills. Now, let me just say this, because I say this in the tutorial. Finding old Ben Franklin bills in good condition is not easy, okay? And fortunately for me, my bank is now, it has not yet taken the bills, currency, U.S. currency, and put it into a machine so it dispenses whatever money somebody may want. There are banks that do that now. They have a machine. You don't have access to cash anymore. It's not in the drawer, or maybe it is in the drawer if somebody brings in a deposit. Excuse me. I got a cold I'm trying to get over. It is one of those things where you want to find a bank that has these old Ben Franklins. Now, if you can't find the old Ben Franklins, and the reason you want the old ones is they're not colorized. If you can't find those, then don't do 1s to 100s. Do 5s colorized to 5 $100 bills colorized. I got it? So then you're out of the woods, okay? But I still use the old Ben Franklin. Sometimes people go and say, what is that? Is that real money? Yes, it is real money, okay? If you go online, let me just see if I can get this. All right, so now I'm going to put the $100 bills into the $100 bill pocket with them all facing the same way. All right, and this is the packet that you're going to have in your carry. Okay, now this is the packet you're going to have in your carry. Now you're going to see that sometimes it opens up right here because you put these extra bills in. You see that? You put the extra bills in there, and it opens up the seal. So you're going to take a little bit of rubber cement, clean off the brush real good. Okay, you don't need that much. All right, and you're just going to stick it right in the middle over here, like so. Just go like this. Don't worry about getting glue on either side of the bill or the gimmick. It doesn't matter, because rubber cement is our friend, and we can wipe it off. Don't close it yet. Let's leave it open, like you see here. It's opened. Okay, when both sides kind of dries a little bit more, we can press them together again and then rub off the excess glue. Okay, so we're going to just wait a few seconds, and while I'm waiting for it, I'm going to tell you that doing 5s to 100s or 10s to 50s or 10s to 100 or whatever currency you want to use, it works. If you're going to use colorized bills, $5 is the lowest denomination of colored bills that you can use. Then use the colored bills that are $5 bills. Get the cleanest ones you can, that they have no writing on them, nobody's phone number on them, that kind of thing. And same thing with the $100 bills. And then press them. Press them with an iron and some magic sizing, which is like starch, only a little bit less. Now, what you don't know, or what you may know, is that currency is made out of cloth. Real currency is made out of a cloth, some kind of a proprietary cloth, and the process is top secret, and you'll be killed if you try to ask somebody how that works. Okay, now I'm going to just stop that conversation for a second. See, now it's pretty much dry, and I'm going to just take it, okay, and I'm going to press it together, and now I'm going to place it on the table, and I'm going to rub it, so I rub off the excess on either side of the bill, okay, and the reason this had to be done is because I didn't put enough glue when I made the T with the two pockets, the 1 and the 100s. I didn't put enough glue, and so it opened up when I put the extra bills in there. See that? Let me get this over to the camera. You can see the extra bills. So, now, in performance, you want to make sure in performance that when you do the performance, when you change it from 1s to 100s, okay, that you tip your hand down. Tip your hand down. I think Saunders has that methodology too with the bills. Instead of Saunders counts the bills this way. That's how he counts them, towards himself. With my method, it's towards the audience, okay? And then I have a few moves that I use that are mysterious, but not hiding the bills. Just, it's a little mysterious, magical thing that I do with them. You'll see me doing it. And then when they change to $100 bills, they are amazed, because again, it's not in your face, it's not flipping the cards, that kind of thing. So basically, that's it. We've made a gimmick. We've made the $100 bills, and I think I was talking about the colorized bills. Make sure you get clean bills. You can use the reason I brought up the fact that they're kind of clothy material is because you can wash bills. You can wash your $100 bills, your $5 bills. If you get a little ivory liquid soap onto a nail brush and they get dirty, because after a while, from opening and closing them, the dirt from your hands gets on the bills. Okay, and if you want to clean them, you can do that by just getting a little brush, okay, and with some soap and water, cleaning the bills with the brush where that thing is. Maybe you might as well clean the whole damn thing, and then rinse it under cold water and pat it down with a paper towel, and then get your ironing board. Make sure you don't burn your wife's ironing board or whatever. Just get a towel and lay it down, and then take your bills and put it on the ironing board, and then press them. And if you want to use a little bit of magic sizing to make them stiff, okay, you can do that. That's so that they're easy to handle. Okay, another thing that you're going to find when you do this trick is when you use new bills. I order a strap of $1 bills, and I go to the bank and I ask my banker, I say, look, do you have any extra old Ben Franklins that you can give me? Can you show me? So he'll show me $5 or $6 or $700 or $1,000 worth of $100 bills. I know everybody can't do this, so don't, but I hoard them. You know what I'm saying? Because when I go online to eBay, they're getting $35, $40, $50 more for a $100 bill in clean condition. So the bankers don't know that. The banker people are just there for the banking. And fortunately, like I said, my bank is still dispensing money out of the drawer, which is great. Okay, so this is the gimmick and this is the trick. And just to give you an idea, if you count out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 $1 bills, and you say, my wife doesn't give me too much of an allowance every week, and I spread them out like so. Okay, now what I do, okay, is my finger comes up, because I have to hide the $100 bill down there. My finger comes up, this middle finger comes up, okay, and grabs the bill like so, and covers the $100 bill, and I say, can I be any fairer than that? And then I'm going to take it back, place these bills on top, okay, bring them together like so, rubbing. Nothing happens when I do this, but when I do this, and then I just slide it slowly for the reveal, and they change to $100 bills like this. Just like so. And then you can spread them out again. Sometimes if the bills are not new, you can slide them with your thumb. But I've gotten used to not sliding with my thumb because I don't want to get, and you do have to keep your hand so that the other packet doesn't come out a little bit. You'll get the feeling of how to do this. And then again, I cover this bill here, and then I take them and I change them back to one to say, Uncle Sam doesn't like you to change their currency, even if you're a magician. So I have to change them back, and now they're back to $1 bills. I keep them in a little leather billfold kind of thing. It's a very soft billfold kind of thing. And that's basically the trick. This one gets a rubber band, and it gets a business card, and this is going to go to one of my lecture people, magicians at the Museum de Magique. And there you go. That's how you make the trick. Frank Paris, thanks for watching. Over and out.